So grateful for this platform, the opportunity for me to work out difficulties in life with the world. It's my hope people can learn from my pain. I like to share my faith walk with you. I like to see you to walk it. This has been one difficult weekend, no doubt about it. A lot of pain, a lot of sorrow. We had to put our beloved pet down after 10 years on Saturday, and all up until the last minute, I said, I would never do this. I would never do this. And then we did, and the guilt, the shame, the regret, the bickering between me and family members, and the pointing the fingers, the blame game, and as a leader of the home, I made the tough decision. I made the call. But then to be regretful, to be angry, to be resentful, to be bitter, to blame everybody, felt pushed by everybody. You didn't say anything. You didn't stop me. And it has just been one very, very, very difficult weekend. And the enemy has certainly put his foot in the door. There's no doubt about that. Our peace and joy is gone right now, and but I'm learning a lot of things. And my teenage son, he witnessed it. He keeps talking about that. Our pup gasping for his last breath, and there's just so many things we're going through. And then we told him we don't want his ashes, and then my son, wants the ashes. And I'm starting to realize that everybody heals differently, everybody grieves differently, and it was just such a shocking day to do, to be in that position. And actually, it was a long time coming. You don't just wake up one day and decide to put down your best friend, your family pet. He had a tumor the size of a basketball, and, I tried different medicines and chemicals and called vets, and nobody wanted to do anything for him or help him. And I'm extremely angry at my vet, because when it was small, it started out about that big. This is a good lesson for you folks out there. If you told your dog has a lipoma or a tumor, and the vet says to you, let's just leave it alone. If it starts to grow, we'll take care of it. Well, it went from that to this, and he still wouldn't do it. And no matter how many times we went to the vet, but I guess rehashing all that doesn't matter now at this point. And I have to come to terms with it, and I'm doing the wrong thing as the leader of the home. I'm not handling my emotions well, and because I'm not handling it well, my wife and my son are suffering because of it, and that's not fair to them. As a man of the house, we have to, once we make a decision, we stick to that decision. And sometimes we do have to suffer in silence with certain things. Sometimes we do. Walking around all weekend long, being angry and blaming and pointing fingers, only hurting, especially my son. He's 15. He's hurting the most. And you think about, you see all the pictures. He didn't have a lot of friends growing up, unfortunately. We lived in one of those neighborhoods where there wasn't a lot of kids. It wasn't like when we grew up in the 80s, And that dog was his best friend, man. They were inseparable, those two. And I was blown away. We went out to breakfast yesterday, and my son was just showing me picture after picture after picture. I can't believe how many photos he took of our dog. It's like, wow. And that really kicked you, because wow, I just took my son's only best friend away, my buddy. My wife said, oh, that dog was my guardian, and we have to be careful with guilt. We have to be careful with regret. We have to be careful with anger. We have to be careful with bitterness, because if we don't handle it well, or we don't handle it right, it's going to hurt everybody else. You're going to add to the pain. You're going to add to their suffering. I'm realizing that this morning, that it's been one hell of a weekend for me, but I can't imagine me being angry and me being bitter and resentful and regretful and trying to take the guilt and the shame off of me and put it on them and make them feel bad was a horrible thing for me to do as a father, as the leader. You're the leader of the home. You're the man of the home. You're the father. You're the one. Sometimes dads, they're leading all the way up to this. Something's got to be done. Something's got to be done. And I was fighting with everything I had to do something, and there was nothing I could do, and nobody would help. And I felt so helpless. But blaming them and pointing fingers at them, it's not going to help anybody heal. We have to heal from this, man. We all have to heal. We're all going to grieve differently. But I need to, as a man, I need to take all of this and put it in a box and leave it at the cross, And then again, his tumor split open, It wasn't getting any better. We were using different stuff to try to shrink it, but it just wasn't doing any better. If your vet tells you your dog has a lipoma and it's the size of a quarter, or remove it immediately. And if that vet won't do it, then you leave and you get another vet. That's what you do. Don't listen to these doctors. Here I go again with the blame game, though. Right? Here I go again with the anger and the resentment. I'm really, really fighting it today. I'm really, really, really struggling today. And I got to learn in all of this that, every great trial, every great struggle in your life is an opportunity to grow or to die. And what I mean by that is I could stay in this anger, I could stay in this guilt and this resentment and be angry at everybody and make everything worse and point fingers, or I can just trust God to heal my heart, to help me to learn how to deal with these situations again, because I'm sure this is going to happen again. It's the circle of life. It's the circle of life. We're born, we die, we live, we cry. This is the circle of life. And I, as a leader of the home, have to learn how to deal with it, because my son is watching everything that I'm doing. He's 15, and he's going to be the man of the house one day. He's going to be the leader of the home one day. He's going to be faced with these decisions one day. And however I respond is how he's going to respond. I got to remember that. I got to remember to do it right, I'm getting peace. Thank you, Jesus. Thank God that I'm getting peace, and we can't go backwards at this point. There's no rewinding. There's no do-overs, and he couldn't walk. The dog could not. I mean, he could, but he was, he was afraid to go down a set of stairs, He's a dog that was so active and so playful and so excitable, He's a pit bull boxer. He was just a fireball, and great dog, loved to play, loved to run. Didn't do any of that anymore. All he did was lay there and sleep. Only time he would get up is, to greet me, which I'm going to miss that very much, but he would, the only time he would get up was to get food. And that was it. That was it. He slept all the other times. Never knew a dog to do that, man. He had died a long time ago. We just didn't realize it. He had died a long time ago. We didn't realize it. If we hadn't done what we did, the wound that was open on the tumor that split open was bleeding. He was pussing, and he was leaking that all over the house, and he was just saying he would sit there with these sad eyes, man. So I guess I'm rehashing it because this is how I deal with grief, how I handle it. We're all going to handle it differently. But whatever you do, don't let guilt, don't let shame, don't let regret, don't let these things stop you in your tracks. I know people who have gone through trials in life who just given up. They've stopped living. They've pretty much thrown in the towel. They've gotten their heart broken, and that's a big thing too with us right now. Is we don't want a dog ever again. We don't want to do this ever again. We don't want to experience this ever again. But closing your heart to loving another animal was not the right answer either. And if I don't open up and love another animal or open my home to another pet or another dog, then what am I teaching my son? The heart breaks, that's it, we're done, we give up, we shut up, we close the world off? No, that's not how we do it, man. We got to heal for a few days, a few weeks, maybe a couple months, but we have to learn to love again. Unfortunately, I know somebody personally in my life who got his heart broken. I really feel like he's afraid to love again. and he's lived alone for a very, very, very long time. And I could see deep, deep sorrow and sadness. So don't let difficult things, don't let heartbreak, don't let them steal your life, because that's what the devil wants to do. He wants to steal your life. He wants you to live here like a zombie with no feeling, like emotionless. He wants you to have no joy. He just wants you to be sad all the time. And he's going to take advantage of times of weakness. He's going to take advantage of things like this to really stomp on you and really finish you off, is what he wants to do, because you're down, you're weak, you're sad, you're broken, you're hurting inside. And he'll come like a flood, man, and he'll hit you with everything. He'll hit you with the regret, the fear, the shame, the guilt, and he'll just beat you up, and he'll start troubling. He'll stir things up, and he'll get everybody fighting, and everybody will start arguing and being mad at each other, and you did this, and I can't believe you. We need to stop, man. We need to stop. God, forgive me for my failures and my shortcomings. And God, I pray right now in the mighty name of Jesus, give me supernatural strength to be the man you need me to be, and to lead my family and teach my family to love again and not to be angry at each other, and that we did the right thing. That's the main thing. We did the right thing. I hope this helps somebody with your pain and suffering today. I really do. I'm praying for you, man. Pray for you folks later, but thanks for hearing me out. God bless.